Welcome everybody to this webinar, which is called How the magic of music can create a vibrant and creative ECE, and how to use that to grow, I guess, amazingness in your ECE centre. It's not exactly what it's called, but that's the whole vibe of it. So I'm Judy Cranston. For those of you who don't know, you can call me Judy if you're my very bestie friend. And I help early learning centres, early learning professionals run epic, amazing, fun, magical, wonderful, creative, the list goes on, music sessions. So thanks, Belinda, for putting slides up. So just wave your hands if you've already used some of my music. Yes? No? Okay, great. Means we've got some work to do. Awesome. So just a little bit more about me. So thanks, Belinda. So I have a degree in music education, and the difference between education and music education, or just teaching music, is that I believe using music is a powerful tool for helping kids to learn. So that's what music education is about. I founded kindyRock in 2008. And I've taught for quite a long time, teaching, training, and performing. I have put out 10 kids' albums. And I'm not saying this to make you think, oh, woohoo, what about that? That's, but I'm actually showing this to show that kindyRock's got a really big foundation of who uses the music and how it's used. So I just cracked 6 million streams on Spotify last week, which I thought was amazing. But I also do a lot of speaking for adults and training, emotional intelligence, culture change. And my husband is an engineer. He grabs me sometimes to talk at his engineering conferences. I'm married to an amazing guy called Craig. We've got 5 kids, four grandkids, and absolutely love being on stage and being in front of people, but I also love being quiet. And I've been told I'm a little bit woo-woo. Thanks. So that's a little bit about me. So just thanks, Belinda. Before we start, if you've chosen to be here, whether you're online or whether you're watching the replay, I just ask that you really do give yourself the gift of being here. So turn off your distractions, close the doors, put the phone on silent or put it away, and just really give yourself the gift of being here in person with us, and with the intention of learning something about how music can make a difference in your centre or your world, whatever your world is. And in the chat, I know we've already said hello in person, but in the chat, if you just want to say a hi and a why, I really like to know what brought you here today. Like, just make it a really brief why. And while you're doing that, I'm going to play the most famous song in kindyRock, which is called Jiggle Your Scarf. So I'm going to play this. Hopefully you can hear it. If somebody can tell me you can hear it, great. But in the chat box, tell us your hi, tell us your why. And do you guys know how to use the chat box? Hopefully you do. So this song's called Jiggle Your Scarf. Oh, thanks, Claire. Whereabouts are you from, Claire? Where are you based, Claire? Southland. Oh, okay. My sister lives down there. Hope you're safe and not too close to Dunedin. All right. Anybody else want to share their hi and their why? In the what box? yeah. Beautiful. All right. And close it up. So today, my husband gets really excited about the stats for my streams, but Spotify is my most favorite song, and it's been streamed almost 1.5 million times, which is pretty impressive, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of kids have listened to Jiggle Your Scarf. So if you don't know it, then it's time to find it out. Anyway, moving on. So, here we go. Let's just see who was saying there. Kia ora, my name is Renee. I'm a visiting home-based coordinator. I run the Music and Movement program on Tuesdays, which I love. I have a passion for music and want to increase my knowledge. Thank you, Renee. That's beautiful. That's a great reason to be here. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go for the next slide. So today I'm going to teach you how to use the magic of music to grow a vibrant and creative ECE centre. What does that actually mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about some of my clients who've gone from the space of, like one of my clients, Kerry, who is in Australia. She is the director of a big centre, a lot of centres. She has, I think, 14 centres that she looks after. And she asked me to come and do some music with them. And I went in and had a look around, and I saw that there was really not much happening, that teachers didn't really understand what music education was about, that they were just doing very, not many different kind of songs. They just had a few songs in their repertoire. And yeah, it wasn't really a happening thing. I guess it's like having an empty swimming pool. So, and what I did with her was take them through this program that meant in the end that they had this amazing, vibrant, thriving thing going where kids were doing music. Actually, they sent me a video once where there's a 3-year-old taking the music class for the 2-year-olds. And so that's what we want for you. That's what we're here for. So this web class is best suited to people who are directors, managers, or owners of early learning facilities, libraries and playgroups, preschool music classes or play centres, etc. But if that's not you, then feel free to stick around, because I'm sure that you're going to get something out of it, especially if you want to run music yourself. So I was wondering whether you might relate to one of these 3 kind of people. Perhaps you're a tired Tessa, like the poor gorilla. So tired Tessa is over COVID, over having to do online things, over having staff away, doesn't have much time or motivation, just feels tired and thinks, why the heck should I do music? Perhaps that's you. Or perhaps you are Pay Me Penelope, and there in the top right corner, for those of you who are from New Zealand, you'll know that that's Susie Cato. So maybe you pay somebody a huge amount of money to come and do music sessions for kids because that's just what you do. Maybe that's you, Pay Me Penelope, or maybe you're Wonder Woman Wanda, or you've got one person on your staff, and maybe this is you, Renee, one person on your staff who does all the music because they love music, but the rest of your staff just sit back and don't actually take part in them. So tired Tessa, too tired to do anything, staff just can't be bothered, or not even can't be bothered, but have no motivation and don't have the energy or the capacity to do music. Pay Me Penelope, where you're just paying somebody to come along, either as a one-off, paying the big bucks for somebody to turn up, or maybe they come weekly and the rest of your staff sit around and not do anything. Or Wonder Woman Wanda, where basically you've got one person or a couple of people who know what they're doing and everybody else sits in the background. So let me know in the chat, which of those 3 things relate to you best? Do you feel like you maybe are a tired Tessa? Put in the chat whether you're a T, a P, or a W, and let's see who we've got. If you're not sure, Claire's a W. Thanks, Claire. Wonder Woman Wanda. Is that you, Claire? Are you the W, or are you the oh, there's another W. Are you the Wonder Woman Wonder, or have you got somebody on your staff who's the W? Be interesting to know that. Okay. So the problem that we have and that we face generally is that, we know that music is a great thing, and yet we don't seem to be able to do it. We haven't got the staff who can do stuff. Music's just not happening. Maybe it's dry and boring, or it's just the same kind of stuff over and over again. Maybe your staff are using YouTube constantly, and kids, all they're doing is looking at a screen for their music time. I guess this is the problem. But what we want to head towards is this amazing music time I call it our music heaven, where your teachers know what they're doing, where kids are engaged, kids want to do music, where teachers want to do music, where things are creative. So this is where we want to go. Of course, we want the musical heaven. And I found in my lots and lots of years, I won't tell you how many years, I found in my lots and lots of years of music education training that there's three main things that seem to come up as big stumbling blocks. And I was thinking about the stumbling blocks today and thinking about it like a bit of a cage around us. And we all have this in different areas. And I know I do for myself in different areas, but it's like this cage with these bars. And I guess the three strongest bars, the three ones that come out the most, I'm going to tell you. So we have this belief that music is a niche skill, and most of my staff or I don't have the musical talent. But what would happen if I told you that's not true and we could remove that bar from your musical prison? So what if I said to you that it's actually about learning little simple tips and tricks. You don't have to have massive amounts of musical skill to make things work. So if you could just take off the slides. Oh yeah, just let's have a look at these. You don't have to be a beautiful singing bird. You actually don't. And what I do in my Rock to Music program is teach people these little tips and tricks that are really simple. So the first one I want to teach you today is that no, you don't have to be able to sing, but a really good simple tip is to learn how to use your voice in other ways. So if you can't sing, you can use your voice. Let me show you. I could be the most boring person on earth and just talk like this all the time, and Renee would be soundly asleep by now. But if I use my voice in a way that's exciting, if I use gaps, if I use volume, you see what's happening now? So you're interested because I'm making a space for your brain to think, I wonder what's coming next. So I teach that in Rock the Music program. I teach our teachers how to use their voice in different ways. So these are the kinds of ways you can use your voice. Creating anticipation. Loud, creating the ability to make a bigger presence with your voice and bring your children in. Or having the gaps. I wonder what it is. So having the gaps, louds and softs, and then the tempos. Sometimes I want to talk really, 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 really fast because it's so exciting, isn't it? Sometimes I'm just going to talk slowly. And that will bring our energy back down if we're all getting a bit crazy. So that's one of the things I want to bust out of your musical prison. We just go back one, please. So if we can remove that myth that you have to have all this talent, and let me show you that you don't, you just have to know a few tips and tricks to make a massive difference. So it's not about your talent. Okay, next. What else isn't it about? What else are we putting in our musical prison? Yes, this is so true, and I totally get it. We're all too busy and tired to plan and find new songs. We are all busy and tired. I mean, is there anybody actually who's not busy and tired some of the time in their life? COVID has really, really been a massive strain on our bodies, on our emotions, on our brains, on the way we have to respond to things. So that's been huge for all of us. But what if I said to you, well, you don't have to always have lots and lots of songs. In fact, that's just about one of the most highest challenges that people say for themselves is they want new songs. I want new songs. I want new songs constantly over and over. I want to learn new songs. But what if I said to you, actually, you don't need to learn new songs. You just need to learn the right songs. So in our program, we have these things called golden songs. And a golden song is a song that can be used in, let me say it, drum roll, limitless ways. Now imagine that. imagine that. It's like those, you know, those wardrobe things that people come up with, you know, have 30 pieces in your wardrobe, and then you can have a trillion different ways of walking around, but it's like this. So here's a golden song. This is where I'm going to get you actually out of your seat, or at least wiggling around. So if you feel like standing up, you can. And we're going to look at the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and I'm going to show you how it's a golden song. Okay. Of course, you guys all know Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Yes? Yep. Thumbs up. You know it. Florence? Yeah. But do you know the kindyRock version? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh, Claire does. Okay. Hopefully I do. So it goes like this. Row, row, row your boat. This is how we row. Rowing backwards, rowing forwards. Watch the rowers row. Now, don't worry if you've forgotten it. Okay. But my point is, this is a golden song. Let's just do the first verse and then we'll pause. Tell me you can hear it. Come on, Florence, let's do it.
Rolling backwards, rolling forwards, watch the rowers row.
Oh, now the golden song says, do not, are you ready for the rule of the golden song? Do not do me the same all the time. You can change me up. Huh? Really? So how about every time we have a verse, you, yes, I'm pointing at you, are going to do your actions a different way. And let's see, you are not allowed to copy me apart from the first time, okay? But you're allowed to copy each other. So I'm going to put the other verses on, and I want you to show me some other ways of doing rowing. Let's do
This is how we row.
Yep.
Rolling backwards, rolling forwards, watch the rowers row.
What about standing up one?
This is how we row. Rolling backwards, rolling
Well done.
forwards, watch the rowers
What about a
row.
walking one?
This is how we row. Rolling backwards, rolling forwards, watch the rowers row. This is how we row. Rolling backwards, rolling forwards, watch the rowers row. This is how we row. Rolling backwards, rolling forwards, rolling backwards, rolling forwards, rolling backwards, rolling forwards, watch the rowers row.
I bet you didn't think you were going to be out of your seat and puffing, did you? So a golden song is one that you can take a lot further. If I said to you, I want you to actually, because there's only a few of us on live, I want you to take your microphones off. That counts for you, Heather, as well. And I want you to tell me, so we've just done sitting, standing with a friend, walking backwards and forwards. You can do it with different parts of your body, right? Tell me what part of your body could you use for the song? 1, 2, 3, go.
Like, you mean sitting on your knees or something?
I mean, whatever you want to say. Sitting on your knees. Right.
Sitting on your knees, but like kind of like that paddleboard style.
Yeah, nice. Like the sup.
Yeah.
Okay.
On one leg.
On one leg. How will that look? Balancing. Yeah.
Going backwards.
Say that again, Claire.
Going backwards.
Going backwards, walking backwards. A beautiful skill to learn, isn't it? For the little children and the older children. Beautiful. What about if I said to you, okay, go and find something in your musical kit, What have you got in your musical kit that you could use now?
Lycra.
Lycra, stretchy stuff. Beautiful for rowing. And so if you were stretching with your own, pretend you've got your Lycra. It's a piece of stretchy material. Those of you who don't know what it is, it's a piece of stretchy material, and the kids generally sit around the outside and grab a bit of it like this, and you can stretch it. So we've just stretched like this with row, row, row your boat. Now show me how else you could stretch. This, yes, like this, yes, like up and down. Yes, beautiful. So I think we're up to about 35 ways so far. Now, what else have you got in your cupboard? What have you got, Florence, in your cupboard, in your musical cupboard? What other props or toys or musical things you've got that you could tangibly?
All right, Dinah band or scarf, yeah.
Good. Scarves, beautiful.
Mm.
So right, show me some ways that you could use your scarf. Just flinging through the ear. Beautiful. Flinging this way. Love it, Renee. Well done. Yay.
Children
How-
should hold one end each and row.
Yes, one in each hand in row. So you have one person there, like you're holding onto my scarf and I'm holding onto your scarf.
Mm.
Beautiful. That's really lovely for the little kids to do that. It takes a little while for them to find the ends. What can you extend that to more numbers? What else could you do? How about if everybody stood in a circle and you had one scarf each, but you held on to the other person's scarf next to you? So it became like a big circle of scarves and people rowing all sorts of different ways. It would be beautiful. That's great for the older kids. Takes a little while, but once they get the handle of it, it's fun as a social activity because you're all having to do it together. Yeah, beautiful. So we've done lycra, Dinah bands, we've done scarves, we've done sitting, standing, using
Parachute, another one.
parachute. Yeah. Okay. Now let's get away from props, and I want you to come back to your body because not everybody has props in their kit tag. But do you have fingers? Show me rowing with your fingers. And it's such a beautiful little tiny little thing to be doing, like if you just want to bring the energy down and you just don't want to be jumping around or you've got a headache. Yeah. Ways you can row with your fingers. And amazing for fine motor skills. This is our age group, the age groups we want to be developing fine motor skills of, well, from 1 up, but like from 2s and 3s, they're really, really interested in using these kind of things and what else you can do. Here we go, here's some rowing. So, okay. So that's a golden song. So we've said, we just go back to that slide where it says we're all too busy and tired to plan and might find new songs, but what if we knew about this whole concept of golden songs? That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, and the last, so sorry, I just finished that thing about prison. So we've been in our musical prison, now we've just taken out that main thing. It's not that hard to come up with new ideas, we just have to have the right sort of understanding. We need to open up our creativity bucket in our head that says we don't have to do things the same way. And the final bar, I guess, in our musical prison is this one. It costs too much to train my staff. I get it. I have been on training that costs $5,000 for one person. I mean, how can you possibly put 20 staff through, or even just yourself if you're paying yourself? But what if I said to you, I'm not going to say to you that everything's free, but what if I said to you that if that growing musical experience is like this ripple effect. So thanks for the next slide. Thank you. So what that means is that once one teacher has this new concept of how they can do music, it's such a growing thing. This is actually a photo from a centre in Australia. And I didn't teach all the staff. I didn't even teach like 10% of the staff. I taught about 5% of the staff. And they grew this beautiful ripple by sharing what they knew in the classroom, and then the other people picked it up. So it doesn't have to cost a lot to train everybody in your centre to do a better job. If you train one person or 2 or 3 people, it's going to make a massive difference because it creates this change. And once change happens in the musical experience, it's like this snowball. It's like it just becomes bigger and bigger. And like I said, this is the centre that within about 5 weeks, I'd say, they had the 3-year-old sitting down and taking the music class. and it was just unplanned, completely spontaneous play. With the little ones on the ground and a 3-year-old taking it like a teacher was just a beautiful thing to see. And the other thing that, with the next slide, thanks. The other thing that is being shared, comes from a poster that somebody from the last rock and music program did. So one of the things that they do is actually like demonstrate in physical form what they've learned. It's some concept of what they've learned, and this is what this person had learned. Why is music so good at? But they've learned it, and then they've put it up as a poster for everybody else to see. So this ripple effect is growing by tangibly, but also by sharing knowledge as well as watching skills. And then she sent me this photo. She had to actually show to her manager what she'd been learning. So going back to the bar in your prison of it costs too much to train. It doesn't. We just have to start. We have to start by training somebody up, and that will grow the ripple and make the massive effects in your centres. So far, let's just have a little recap. We've looked at what a gold song is and how that unleashes that massive creativity in your teachers' brains. We've talked about the ripple effect, so you don't have to send everybody on training. Just one person can make a massive difference. And we've talked about how you don't have to be this like super Wonder Woman person who knows all the answers about music. You just need to learn some simple tips to make life go a little bit easier and to realize that it's not that hard. So let's zoom out for a bit and let's have a look at what else is needed. Sorry, I'm using the bird picture twice. I just kind of like it. I thought that was perfect. So from my experience as a music educator, I feel like the fundamental framework, like the basic thing that we need to set up for having amazing music, comes down to three different themes, three different skills. And the first one is confidence. Thanks, Belinda. Then this beautiful circle here. So if you don't have confidence, if your staff doesn't have confidence, then what happens is that nothing happens. They sit in the corner, not doing things. And having no confidence is, I reckon, is such a debilitating thing. I totally understand it because there's areas in my life where I have felt absolutely not confident. And you might think that how can that be possible? Because it's me and I'm Judy from kindyRock. But it's actually so easy. And I really don't like aspects of myself when I don't have that confidence. So I try my best to work around it. So staff who have no confidence, music isn't happening because they don't want to do it. They feel too shy. They feel like they don't know what they're doing and all that sort of stuff. But if they have confidence, then they be prepared to step out and give things a try and make things happen, I guess, and try things even though they may not be perfect. I think that's such a beautiful concept as well, being okay to be not perfect. So that's the first thing that our teachers need to have. Secondly, they need to have this engagement skills. They need to be able to keep the kids engaged. They need to be able to keep the kids engaged at the level that's important for them. So not just playing the same song over and over again. It's keeping them engaged at a baby level. If they're babies, what is the difference? How do we keep kids engaged at that level when they're only babies? So if we don't have those engagement skills, what happens is that kids wander away and they're not engaged. So even though the teacher might have all the greatest intentions, they're not engaged. But if we have engagement skills, then the kids are involved in participating. And scientists say that a child that's participating in music, their brain is the most busy and lit up than any other thing they can find that a child could be doing. So engagement in music is fantastic for our kids' brains. So that has to be a good thing. And the third pillar, what I call the pillar of a good musical experience, is having the creativity. So being able to think beyond the square, being able to say, what else can I do with this one prop? I've seen someone wave a scarf around before, so I think that's the only thing that I have to do. This is what would happen if a teacher didn't have creativity. They just follow on, they do the same thing, and they don't understand that we can do things different ways. And that impacts on children as well, because they then get stuck rigidly that they have to do the same thing as well. But if a teacher demonstrates creativity, then what that means is that we have this vibrancy, we have an aliveness, because we have an expectation that things are going to change and something new is going to happen. I don't wonder what's going to happen. And that then seeds on to the rest of the staff and the kids as well. So if we put all those things together, this is what it looks like. See my beautiful Venn diagram from school. My words didn't fit in. But so to have this vibrant musical experience, we want to be able to have all of those three aspects. And if you have if you have confidence and creativity, that's brilliant. But what happens is that your teacher is like, oh yeah, I'm ready, I'm going to do this, I've got all these ideas, but I don't know if you know how to keep the kids engaged. So it doesn't matter, because they'll walk off and they won't do it. So that's not a good thing. Whereas you might have the teacher who's got lots of confidence, they know what they want to give it a whirl, they want to try things out, they've got great engagement skills, they know how to keep kids riveted, but they don't have any creativity. So they're constantly playing the same old things and doing the same old things. In fact, the workshop I'm running on Monday night for teachers or early learning professionals is called Say Goodbye to Baby Shark. So it's about unleashing that creativity aspect and realizing that we don't just have to do the same thing over and over and over again, how that's debilitating for our children's growth. So that's not a good thing without the creativity. And finally, if you have creativity, you've got lots and lots of ideas, and it's exciting, and you're really good at keeping your kids engaged, but you actually feel really shy and you don't feel like you can do it. So that means that nothing happens. So you can see that you actually need all of those three things. So if you have all those three things, we get what we call our musical heaven. So our musical heaven has got the confidence. Teachers feel confident. It doesn't mean that they're perfect, and it doesn't mean they know everything, but it means that they're confident to give it a try and to start the journey. Teachers have engagement skills, so kids are involved in the process and engaged in the process and the creativity aspect, so that you can pull out ideas pretty much out of the top, out of your head at a moment's notice, which is a really, really, really good skill to have. So if I just want to recap of all the things, and I better keep going because as usual, I like to talk too much, but so let's just have a recap. Today you learned that the things that are keeping you in your musical prison are thinking these thoughts that aren't really true, like it doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of talent, and you certainly don't have to have a lot of time to plan and things. But what you can have, what creates the magic, the musical heaven, is if you have got developing confidence, skills, creativity, and engagement. And because once you have those, then you're going to have what we call our musical heaven. So what does musical heaven look like? I just busted some photos out, but it means you can do spontaneous music times, inside or outside, for whatever your themes are. It means that you can use props and other things in a whole lot of different ways. It means that your kids are happy and engaged and love music, which is great for their brains, and that means they're in optimum learning capacity. It means you know the difference between a baby song and a toddler song and a preschooler song and a 6-year-old song. You know how to find them, you know how to use them. You're engaged. You go, who's me? On the right hand side, that's me in a photo with doing a photo shoot for our kids app, I think. And also you're sharing your ripple. You're able to share what you know, and you feel like your staff or you feel motivated and excited about what music can do. So nothing that I've shown you today is special. You just have to have the right system. I'm just going to take a drink because I've been talking lots. You just have to have the right system. You have to have that system that has all of those three aspects in it. You have to remember that those three it's actually ECC, which I think is quite cool because we're all like early childhood, aren't we? Engagement, confidence, and creativity. We have to realize that these are our pillars, okay? And so find ways to develop that. What else did I want to say about that? We have to realize that we need to learn from each other, okay? We have to give people permission to try and to be at the beginning of their journey and say it's okay if you're not that good at it, but let's take a step forward and not just sit in the background. And what else did I want to say? Sorry, my brain has gone a little bit blank, which is quite common in 50-year-olds, isn't it? So yeah, so it's having that framework. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I've done what I've done. And if I think about my why, for why I'm here, I was blessed with the musical talent, but I wasn't blessed with the confidence. I tell you that, I wasn't. And so for the first 40 years of my life, I did music to myself. And it's only been recently where I've developed that confidence, and I realize now I understand why I'm here. I'm here because I believe in the power of music education. I believe that music needs to find its way back into our centres, and I'm here to help you do that. And so with that in mind, this is why I, towards the end of last year, the New Zealand Music Commission said, we were in discussions, and they said, yes, we want to support you in creating more training for our teachers so that they have these pillars. And so between their money and my nous and Heather's support, who helps me do all my things, we created Rock Your Music program. And I just love the title. It's the whole concept of what I love. I mean, I love the word rock. It's just like, yeah, let's just do it. It's not just about that, but it's this foundation. It's having a stable foundation for you to build on. So Rock Your Music program is about, yeah, let's rock, but it's also let's set the foundation. And so what we're about to run it again in March. And if you've got enough time, I know we've just about run out of time probably, I can take you through what it looks like. So it's going to start in the middle of March. It's 5 weeks. We run it on a Monday evening, which really sucks for Canada. Sorry. But we had a Canadian teacher in the last round, and she just watched the replays and joined in our Facebook group, which was amazing. So you see how many ideas we came out with row your boat in 2 minutes. Can you imagine how many ideas we could come out with for our gold songs over 5 weeks? So our Facebook group last time was just an amazing, vibrant, I mean, I can't even explain it. It makes me cry thinking about it. But anyway, let's go back to what's in Rock Music.
Can I just add there, Judy, how much those teachers got out of that program last year, and the fact that it was on Zoom. Obviously you wonder how ideal that is, but we got good feedback that teachers who were a little wary of COVID found our Monday sessions lifted their week. They really enjoyed the session because, as you can imagine, Judy is very interactive. You're not sitting around for the hour and a bit. You're busy doing stuff. Plus, all of those teachers, without every single one of them, because we did a survey thing afterwards, told us that they had gained confidence in those 3 pillars, and that they were going out and they were doing stuff, and that growing the ripple was really important. They were doing posters, all sorts of other ways of talking to parents and managers about what they were learning and why they were doing it. And it was a very wonderful thing to be part of. So we're excited to be running it again. Just wanted to say that. It was just so cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. It was one of the things that people said, like, what happens if it's on Zoom and, Zoom's not interactive? I love being in person. I love being in person, but we can't. And so I've had to not make it in person. But the beautiful thing about that is, instead of being over a weekend, it's over 5 weeks. So what happens? Every week we go away and we take our little thing, our little rowboat, and we try it. And then we share what we've learned with everybody else. And then we realize, wow, that person over there did it like that. And man, so every week, and that, I think that's been the best, one of the best things that I've realized for online learning is that we can implement straight away. And yeah, so anyway, what else do I want to tell you? Do you want to put that slide up? Do you think we should put that slide up, Belinda? Really quickly, this is what's in Rock Your Music program starting in mid-March, and this whole beautiful foundational level that grows the understanding of what music education is. It's not based on talent. Got access to the beautiful Facebook group, and we have an online portal and with a completion certificate, which is great for people with their professional development in their portfolio. So Harry was one of our people last year, and this is what she said, I feel much more confident. I think it's great. This is what they're getting out of it. This is what you could get out of actually training, doing some more training. She feels much more confident, and she used to feel like she was getting boring and stuff. So it's nice to go beyond that. So just in closing, because we haven't got any time left, I know you're amazing, and I know you would much rather be spending time doing all the other trillion things that you have to do in your life rather than worrying about music. So Rock Your Music program gives you and your staff that beautiful framework to run those kind of juicy sessions, to run musical heaven. So if you'd like to be part of that, I'd love to invite you to our next round. The cost for Rock Your Music program is $295 plus just per person. If you want to find it, I think Belinda's probably going to put a link in the chat. But to find it, you go to www.kindyrock.com/training. It's got a whole lot of blurb about it, which you don't have to read, but you can if you want. And the price is $295 plus just per person if you scroll all the way down and find the book now button. But if you're worried about, I think we'll leave that bit there. We won't worry about that one. If you're worried about that your teachers might not have a buy-in, then we are running a workshop on Monday night as well. So let us know if you want to go along to that, if you've got some people that you think could really benefit. And if you've got 3 or more people, you can get 20% off by using the discount code ROCK20. But apart from that, I know that we need to finish up because I said 40. I'm really sorry that it's taken 45 minutes. But has anybody got any questions? Maybe you could just take that screen away now. And has anybody got any questions? That was a big long blurb. Got any feedback, suggestions, any ahas, anything you learned? Just take yourself off mute if you like, because we haven't got a big group today. Aren't you lucky? Just having that many people. See, you can ask whatever you want. You can ask whatever you want. Come on. Renee's got something. Just unmute if you want to.
I was just going to say, I was writing in the chat that I'm really excited. I wanted to do it last year, but I missed out on the date. But I think it's quite timely, like in the first term, and to bring those new ideas and to learn. And it was interesting because I do the music on a Tuesday by myself, and it's my passion, it's my baby. But like everyone gets too scared, like when I'm gonna be away, they all fight like, I don't want to do it because like that confidence, like I don't know if I can do it like you. And I'm always like, don't worry, just do it like you. Like no one's going to judge it, and you just have to practice. But because I'm the only one that does it, the others, because like I love it, the others don't want to do it. So it'd be quite interesting to talk to the ladies and see if they want to jump on board and do the workshop as well alongside me, so that if I am away, or even not just when I'm away, but they can then take that to their own educators and start doing that within the homes. Because the educators love coming because they too lack, I guess, they feel like they don't know how to do it. So they leave that all up to me, which is fine, but I'd really like to grow their capacity. That Wonder Woman wonder. Yeah, and I'm like, you guys can do it, but again, they like, yeah, they love watching this song on YouTube and da da da. But then again, because that takes them out of it and they don't have to be engaged.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's missing obviously those vital learning moments.
Yeah.
They need the educator to be doing it with them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're teaching the kids to be passive learners, or to be
Yes.
passive experiential, having a
Yes.
passive experiential experience.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, which isn't really doing anything. It's
No.
like just having wheat bix and wheat bix and wheat bix every day for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
you could be having eggs on toast.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm very passionate about brain development too. So I know from what the little amount that I've already, read and looked at how music and movement and all of that can, the brain's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm happy.
I know.
I'm
Totally.
learning.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, Renee. That's brilliant. Thank you for
Sure.
sharing that. I'm looking forward to seeing you and whoever else you can drag along.
Yep.
How about you, Florence or Claire? Do you have any questions? Got such a beautiful smile, Claire. Thank you for smiling at me. Makes my day,
Florence
actually.
might be asking a question, but we just need you to unmute, Florence. So I'll just ask that and you can pop your unmute.
I didn't realize it myself.
Oh.
I always have this problem. Right. My question is just something that's about the training. So can I know what time is it? Because
Yeah,
we have big time zone different here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 till 8:30, which is not a great time for Canada. But what we found for people who couldn't come is that they've watched the replay, but a lot of the learning was happening within the Facebook group as well. So there was so much interaction where people would be learning off each other. So if you like to come but can't make that time, then I suggest that you just give it a shot. And I said to the other lady, give it a shot, and if it doesn't work, then Belinda will give you your money back. Hey, Belinda. But I've said that to a few people who weren't sure, and they've all just like absolutely loved it from whatever their experience was. So I think doing it in whatever capacity you can is better than not doing it. Put it that way.
All right.
Yeah. And Claire's still smiling. Are you okay, Claire? Do you have anything, questions, or nah, you're good? Brilliant. All right. Well, thanks everybody. It's been amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. Enjoyed having you. We have got the baby shark thing happening on Monday night. If you want to bring, like Renee, if you want to drag people, but because it's that little spark, we need that little, like the Peter Pan spark that says, hey, there's something missing, and I'm excited about learning what it is. But thanks everyone. I will see you again, ka kite ana, which means
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Thank you for coming, and it's been great to have you. We'll see you next time.